Man, welcome to another edition of Counter Local TV, being brought to you by CL Management, DV Tracksuits. Big shout out to the mighty LDBC, man. We had a lot of boxing last night, man, and I'll try to get to some of the other ones on some other videos, maybe even do a live, man. But I wanted to make a video specifically about Juanmita Lopez versus Malik Quinones, man. Now, first, before I even get into it, man, I want to give a big shout out to both fighters for being so young in their career. One was 2-0 with 2 knockouts. The other one was 1-0 with 1 knockout, man. And they fought this early in their career, man. They weren't worried about they weren't worried about none of that. They wanted to test each other to see who the better man is, man. And that is to be commended no matter who ended up winning this fight, man. Now, this was an action-packed fight that I'm pretty sure a lot of people underestimated Malik Quinones, which I don't know why, man. He's getting good training and all that other good stuff, man. He's with a good team, man. And so is Juanmita Lopez. That's why it was like a breath of fresh air to watch this, man. Now we get into the first round, man, and they're going all out, man. Rock 'em, sock 'em, man. Like there was just it's almost like they had some bad blood or something. That's how they were fighting. I'm not saying they had bad blood. That's how they came out, man, in that fight, man. And yes, Juanmita Lopez got dropped in the first round, man, which made the fight really interesting because it's a 4-rounder. And, when you get down 10-8, man, you got to win the rest of these rounds in order to have a chance to win this fight, man, because this is 4 rounds and stuff like that. Juanmita Lopez, to me, obviously lost that first round, man. Now, I want to say something, man. There was one of those rounds, I think it might have been the second, where I thought Juanmita Lopez knocked him down, but they didn't count it. They counted that as a slip. Regardless of the fact, neither here nor there, that's just the way it was judged and refereed, man. So that could have, made it an even fight going into the 3rd and 4th round. But they didn't count it like that, so we had to look at it for what it is. And the 3rd round, I believe Juanmita Lopez won that clearly. Okay? Maybe even the 2nd round as well, man. The 1st round was Malik Quinones. 2nd and 3rd to me was Juanmita Lopez. The 4th is where the controversy's at because it was such a tight round that you could have thrown a quarter in the air, and if it landed on heads or tails, it depended on who you gave that round to. But they from round 1 all the way to the end, they just went all out, man. All out, man. I actually edged that last round to Juanmita Lopez, man, and gave him the fight on a close fight. But that's not to take away from Malik Quinones, man. I thought it was a very entertaining fight. Definitely the fight of the night, man. And if you heard the crowd, man, half of them had Malik Quinones winning. Half of them had Juanmita Lopez winning, and whichever way you went, I just don't think you're wrong. I don't see a robbery here. It was just a really, really well-contested fight, man, with 2 thoroughbreds going at it, man, at an early stage in their career, man. And so shout out to both fighters. I did edge it out to Juanmita Lopez, but that's not, like I said, that's not to take away from Malik Quinones. And no, I do not want to see a rematch right away. I know a lot of people were saying, run it back, run it back, run it back. Now, why would they run it back right now? Y'all think about this, man. They just put on the fight of the night, right? They risked everything early in their career, correctly? And you want them to run it back right away? No. Let's not put these 2 fighters against each other again for right now. Let them go their separate ways. Let them build their career now. Because down the line, people are going to remember this fight. And once both of them develop completely, that's when the rematch is going to be beneficial to both. That's when they'll both be able to make more money out of that. And, we can call it a rivalry if you want to. But much rather down the road, man, that's when they'll make the best out of this. Not right now. Let them go their separate ways, man. Now, what I will say about both fighters that I want to say, and yes, and I appreciate that they went to war and all of that, man, but I think moving forward, when they watch this film, they're going to realize that they got to go back to the drawing board and start working a little bit more on patience and boxing and jabbing. I didn't see a whole bunch of jabbing. I didn't see a lot of patience. Matter of fact, I didn't see any patience. They were going at it. So both of them need to take a deep breath. And I'm saying both. And I love them both, by the way. I love them both. I know it's going to be like, oh, man, he hates one. No, man. I love both fighters, and I love what they stand for. I just wish that, and we're probably going to get that down the road when they do rematch way down later in their career, man, where they're both going to be more developed. Maybe they're both going to be a little bit more patient. They're going to establish a jab, whichever one establishes a jab or whatever. But more educated pressure, so we can really get another fight that we can enjoy, man. But that's the critique I got on both of them, though, man. Like, I would have liked to see a little bit more patience throughout the fight. Now, I did notice, and I'm gonna give Juanmita Lopez the edge here, because I saw him make some adjustments. Even though it was rock'em sock'em, I saw him make a little bit of adjustments, man, during that fight. So that was a breath of fresh air to see. And look, the future is bright for the both of them, man. Just no knock on none of them, man. I think we all ought to applaud them for putting on that great show, man, and stuff like that, man. So shout out to both of them, man. But that's all I got for y'all, man. This is always brought to you by CO Management, DV Tracksuits. Big shout out to the mighty LDBC. Local TV. Man, I'm out of here, man. On to the next, man.